Welcome to Looking Within, a podcast for the spiritual explorer in each of us. I'm Julie. I love to explore the inner life using contemplative practices, and I love to help others to do the same. In our time together, I hope you gain a sense of hope, meaning, joy, and love. Keep in mind, today I'll be speaking from my own perspective as a Christian spiritual explorer. If you resonate with another way of experiencing the divine, that's just fine. Feel free to use the spiritual perspective you are most comfortable with in our practice today. Now, let's begin. I recently attended a journaling workshop based on the work of the late Dr. Ira Progoff. The journaling method of the intensive journal program is an integrated system using writing exercises which help you to gain awareness about diverse areas of your life. By the end of the week, you've approached and examined things about your current life in a multifaceted way, and the journaling you've done acts as a companion for ongoing growth and self-discovery. I would highly recommend this workshop to anyone seeking to understand their life and journey better, as it enables you to perceive insights and movements in your life that propel you forward. Not only was our leader wonderful, but I so enjoyed getting to know the other participants as we wrote and shared and traveled through the week together. Everyone's journey is holy, very sacred ground. For several years now, the sacred ground of my story has centered around a search for, quote-unquote, my voice, my identity. I've been growing into a new role in my work, and also our 2 children have launched from home some years back. I'm moving further and further into that phase of life where you're not ready to retire, but you're definitely continuing to move through some life transitions that will eventually take you in that direction. Over time, I've done some focused reading about identity and purpose, talked with others, and frankly, have felt a bit down at times that I couldn't figure this area of my life out, concluding that I needed to try harder to resolve the various feelings and confusion that I felt. With a grateful heart, I would say that the recent intensive journal program workshop has actually provided a turning point for me. I'm beginning to see things with fresh eyes, and I'm discovering that the search for my voice wasn't actually even needed. My voice, my identity, my true and essential self is already within me. It turns out that my voice and identity have been hidden to me because of me. It's me that has often caged who I am by continuing to mentally spin in old tapes and stories. It's me that has often attached tethers to the true me through negative thinking or thoughts of scarcity versus abundance. I have been the real reason that I've held back from fully becoming who I'm meant to be, who I am in God. I didn't need to try harder. I just needed to relax, to watch, to spot where God was working and what was already within me. This description of my existential identity search leads into today's episode called Catching the Updrafts. This comes from an image that kept playing through my mind and appearing in my journaling during my recent workshop. I kept seeing me as an eagle, soaring on the updrafts and thermals of the rising currents of air. After some initial wing flapping to get airborne, eagles have the capacity to effortlessly soar and glide on the updrafts for several hours. You've seen them, or other large birds, soaring and gliding on the wind. It's kind of amazing to watch as we imagine the freedom and ease they must feel as the wind holds them up. They're not forcing anything, they're just relaxing to the air currents, letting the currents do most of the work as they just stretch out their wings and give a brief and periodic flap so they stay in the thermal. My search for my voice and identity might resonate with you directly, or be similar to some inner issue you might be grappling with on your journey. It might remind you of something big you've just come through, or something that is on the horizon for you to face. Therefore, here's where I would recommend for all of us the tactics of an eagle. Carry out your due diligence of reading and workshops, aptitude and personality tests, visiting with trusted friends and advisors. those initial flaps of your wings to get you airborne as you try to discern and see your next steps. And then relax into the next steps of your journey. Ride the updrafts, soar on the air thermals, contemplatively survey the inner and outer landscapes with open eyes to spot God's activity and presence. Once we've taken some initial steps in these types of personal searches and transitions, it's really more of a God-directed process, just like the eagle's flight being mostly due to the action of the wind and not to its own effort. Let's think about this as we relax into some moments of quiet. In this quiet space and time, I'd invite you to gently close your eyes. I'll sound the Tibetan singing bowl, which will call you to look within. As you're listening to the bowl's reverberations, take 3 deep breaths. Then let your breathing return to normal whenever you'd like. Hear the sound of the bowl now. Let it center you. Let it remind you that God is here with you. As you take a few moments now to quiet your mind and body, think about your life. Are there transitions that you're in the midst of, or changes that you're anticipating in the near future? Are there some life decisions that you're working through, or next steps to discern and to take? Think of the eagle, soaring on the updrafts and relaxing into the rising air currents. This is you, supported on the winds of the Spirit. There's freedom there. There's ease and less stress when you're not pressing and pushing to make things happen faster than they're meant to. Picture yourself as the eagle, catching the updrafts of God's Spirit. I'll be back with you in about 3 minutes. I'd invite you now to take a few deep breaths in and out, in and out. Let these breaths fill you with strength and energy. Hear me sound the Tibetan singing bowl, and as the sound of the bowl reverberates and slowly dies away, you can gently open your eyes, remaining still for a moment longer. I imagine the ego comes with some amazing instincts for how to fly, plus gets a little teaching help from its parents too. With time, it can sense the ideal conditions for flight, learning how to respond, how to relax, and let the wind do the work. We can do the same, whether we're moving through rather mundane moments of daily life or working through some big life decisions and transitions. We can do our part to discern next steps and receive some help from others. And then we can relax, open our eyes, enjoy the view, and move forward supported by the strong and compassionate presence of God. When we contemplatively walk through life with eyes that are open to spot God's presence and activity, we become the eagle, effortlessly soaring on the updrafts of the divine. Thank you for making time for your inner self today. Whatever you've discovered and experienced, carry that with you in the coming days. You can find more episodes at our website, gloria-dei, that's DEI.com/lookingwithinpodcast, or subscribe through your favorite podcast app. We'll see you next time.